Okay guys, let's continue the lesson. This is the last part for the kinematics chapter, the displacement and velocity graph. Several types of displacement and velocity graph is shown below. So for the first one, we have the displacement and time graph. If the graph is a straight line like this, that means the particle moving with a constant speed and there are no acceleration. For the second graph, it's moving with a constant speed also, and also no acceleration. But the difference between this one and this one is the first one, it moves to the right side. For the second one, it moves to the left side. Yeah, so it's turn back. It's already take a U-turn. Then for the next one will be a constant. It's not moving, yeah, for this one, displacement and time graph. If the graph is a straight line like this, horizontal line, that means the particle is not moving, and that also means speed equals to 0 and there are no acceleration. Next, if the curve is like this, that means moving with various speed and the particle is accelerating. For this one, decelerating. Next is this one, moving with various speed and the particle is accelerating. This one is various speed, decelerating, and this one is constant speed, acceleration equals to 0. Okay, so how to sketch a displacement graph? First, you have to find the initial position. Next, you have to find the time when the particle is at x equals to 0 meters, or you can say the roots of the displacement equation. And then number 3, find the time and position when the particle is instantaneously at rest. This one is important when you want to draw a curve, yeah, or maybe you want to find the turning point of your graph. Next is sketch. Okay, so for example 1, we have a particle move in a vertical line so that the displacement x equals to 6t square minus t cube. Sketch the displacement time graph. Okay, so first we have to find the initial position, yeah. Initial position in function is y-intercept, right? It's the same thing. Initial position means t equals to 0, and when t equals to 0, the value of the s, or you can say x in this questions, will be 6 times 0 square minus 0 cube. So you'll have x equals to 0 meters. So later we have to sketch from 0 meters, 0, 0. Next is number 2. For number 2, we have to find the time when x equals to 0 meters. Yeah, so we know when will the particle go back to 0 or cut the y-intercept, the x-intercept later. So the x equals to 6t square minus t cube, and then you can replace the x with 0 and then factorize the t square in the bracket 6 minus t. So you'll have 0 equals to t square. From this one you'll have t equals to 0, and this one t equals to 6. Okay, and that means the particle will go back to 0 at 6 seconds, after 6 seconds, yeah. And number 3, you have to find the instantaneously at rest. Instantaneously at rest means the v equals to 0, and because we don't have the equation of the v, we will find it first by differentiating the x. Okay, you will have an equation like this: v equals to 12t minus 3t square, and for instantaneously at rest you have to replace the v with 0, and then I can factorize the negative 3t. You will have negative 4 plus t, yeah. And for this one, the time will be 0, and for this one, the time will be 4 seconds. Okay, and when time equals to 0, the position of the particle is at 0. We already calculate that, but for the 4 seconds we haven't calculated it, so we have to find the position. S equals to 6t square minus t cube. I will replace the t with the 4. 6 times 4 square minus 4 cube, and the answer is 1696 ya. 1696, 96 minus 64 minus it 2 and 3. Okay, 32 meters. Okay, so later in your graph, the particle will be at 32 meters when it stop moving. Okay, let's sketch the motion. Not the motion, the S, the displacement with time graph. Okay, so as I told you before, we will start from 0, 0. So I have to start from here, 0, 0, and then it will go back to x equals to 0 meters at t equals to 6 seconds. So I will put 6 seconds right here, and the particle will go back to 0 meters. That means right here. Okay, we already have 2 points. Next is instantaneously at rest. Instantaneously at rest is at 0, 0 right here, and then 4 seconds, 32. 4 seconds and 32. 4 seconds and 32. Okay, so the curve maybe it will be like this. You can draw it like this, or you can draw it like this also, because we don't know the acceleration yet. Yeah, so this is only a sketch, right? So as long as you know that you have to take a U-turn at this point, that's okay. So I will draw it like this. Okay, yeah, that is the sketch. Next, how to sketch a velocity graph. Find the initial velocity. The second step will be find the time when the velocity of the particle is 0, and the third one is the time and the velocity when the acceleration is 0. That is the peak point, the vertex of the velocity curve, yeah, later. And then number 4, sketch. Example 2, a particle move in a vertical line such that its displacement is like this. So this one is the previous questions. So we can copy the answer for the V. The V is 12t minus 3t square, ya. Okay, so we will sketch the velocity time graph using this equation. We will start from find the initial velocity. Initial velocity means times equals to 0. When times equals to 0, the velocity is 12 times 0 minus 3 times 0 square. So the velocity equals to 0. Next, number 2. For number 2, we can find the time when it's instantaneously at rest. Instantaneously at rest means velocity equals to 0, and we already calculate this. We have 0 and we have 0 seconds and also 4 seconds. Yeah, I will copy this one. We have 0 seconds and also we have 4 seconds, and that means this one is 0, 0. Why is 0, 0? Because the time is 0 and the velocity is instantaneously at rest. That means the velocity also 0. And for the 4 seconds, we have 4, 0. Why? Because the time is 4 seconds and the velocity is instantaneously at rest. That means 0. Okay, next one is the acceleration equals to 0. Yeah, so we have to find the acceleration equation. V equals to 12t minus 3t square, and that means the acceleration will be, sorry for that, 12 minus 60, yeah, From this one we can find the acceleration equals to 0. That means a equals to 0, and you will find the t. 0 equals to 12 minus 60. Time equals to 2 seconds. And when time equals to 2 seconds, the velocity will be, velocity is 12t minus 3t square. Yeah, we can find the velocity by substituting the 2 seconds. V equals to 2412, yeah, 12 meter per second. Okay, so for this one we have a point of 2,12. Now it's time for us to sketch. To sketch, you have to put the V for the y-axis and the time for the x-axis. Yeah, this one is meter per second and this one is meters. We'll start from initial velocity is 0, 0, so we will start from here, 0, 0, and then instantaneously at rest means 4, 0. 4, 0 is right here, 4, 0. That means later the velocity will be 0 at 4 seconds. Yeah, 4, 0, and then 2,12. Sorry. 2,12. Okay, that is the vertex or the turning point or the maximum point, or what can you call that? Ya, pokoknya vertex lah ya. Okay, so I can draw the sketch like this. So wait a minute. Okay, maybe like this. Yeah, okay. So that is the sketch of the second example. Next is the displacement and distance from velocity graph. Take a look at this velocity time graph. For this velocity times graph, we have a curve like this. And if the question wants you to find the displacement and distance, you can use this formula. The displacement of the particle for the first b seconds is s equals to integration of from 0 until a of the function, which is vt dt, and then plus with integration of a b vt dt. Okay, so for this one we can separate the region into two parts. The first one is the yellow one and the second one is the green one. Okay, so the displacement and distance is depends on this area, and we already know that when we want to find the area of a curve, we have to find the integration, right? We have to use the integration. So the formula will be like this. Okay, and what is the difference with the distance? For the distance, you have to add the area of the region but without negative. So I put absolute value for both calculation. Yeah, that is the difference. For the displacement, maybe you will have negative value. That's okay, because displacement have direction, right? So negative is important. So let's say the first one is 10 and the next will be negative 5. The displacement will be 5 meters. But for this one, if the first one is 10, the yellow one is 10, and the second one is negative 5, you have to calculate the absolute value first. Yeah, so it will be 10 plus 5, not negative 5. It will be 15 meters. That is the difference between the displacement and the distance in this velocity time graph. Okay, and as I said before, the displacement and the distance depends on the area of the curve, right? So if your curve is a straight line like this, you can find the area easily using the shapes in the picture, in the graph. For the first area, it's triangle, and the second area is also triangle. we can find the area easily using half times base times height, right? So we don't have to use integration anymore for a simple question like this. From the graph before, the displacement of the particle is S equals to area 1 minus area 2. So the area will not give you negative value like the integration, right? Integration can be a negative for the result, but for the area it has to be positive, right? Yeah, from the elementary school, your teacher never told you that there are negative area, right? It's always positive. So when you find the first area, it will be positive, and the second area will be also positive. That means for displacement, you have to minus it. You minus it when the first area is above the x-axis, the t-axis, the t-axis, and the second area is below the t-axis. So the area below the t or below the x will have negative value. Okay, so the area of the second area will be negative. Okay, next is distance. And as I told you before, the distance will never have negative value, right? So you have to add them together, area 1 plus area 2 for the distance. That is the difference between displacement and the distance from a simple questions like that. Okay, and please take notes that when the velocity graph is a straight line, you can find the acceleration using gradient of the line. So for example, the first one, you already know that this one is accelerating, right? If you want to find the acceleration, you can use the gradient of the line. The formula of the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You already know that, yeah? So let's take a look at example 1. A car accelerates uniformly from rest at rate 1.5 meter per second square. So that is the acceleration to a speed of 12 meters per second. It then continues moving at 12 meters per second 40 seconds before decelerating uniformly to rest in a further 10 seconds. Yeah, so the first one you have to sketch, right? Sketch the velocity times graph using the information. So to sketch it, you have to put the axis first, meter per second, and also the seconds, and then after that you have to translate the sentence into a graph. Okay, it starts from the rest. I will start from here. The car accelerates uniformly from rest. From rest means v equals to 0, right? V equals to 0. So it will start from v equals to 0. It's right here. And then accelerate uniformly. Accelerate uniformly means accelerating. Accelerating with a constant acceleration. Yeah, constant acceleration means the curve, and not the curve. Yeah, the graph will be a straight line. Okay, so I will create a straight line like this. I will draw a straight line like this. Okay, until the velocity of 12, but we don't know the time yet. I will say this one is t1. Okay, and then it then continues moving at 12 meters per second 40 seconds. Continue without changing the speed. So the next one will be straight horizontal line until 40 seconds. Yeah, 40 seconds. So this interval of time is t seconds. And then after that, decelerating uniformly to the rest. Decelerating uniformly to the rest in further 10 seconds. So this interval of time is 10 seconds. Okay, next is find the time taken while accelerating. Okay, so we have another information right here, which is 1.5 meter per second square, and that is the acceleration. The car accelerates at rate of 1.5. That means acceleration. So the acceleration will be the gradient of the curve. The gradient of the curve for the first motion. The first motion will be 0, 0 and t1, 12. T1, 12. Yeah, so we have 2 points on the first motion, which is 0, 0 and also t1, 12. For the acceleration, you can find it using gradient, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And the acceleration is already given. It's 1.5. So you can put the 1.5 in the acceleration. And then for the y2 is 12, y1 is 0, t2 equals to, x2 equals to t1, and the x1 equals to 0. So we will have 1.5t equals to 12 and t equals to 8 seconds. There you go. After you got the t1, you can replace the t1 with 8 seconds. And then now it's time for us to find the t, yeah? The distance moved while accelerating. Oh, no. The question wants you to find the distance first. The distance while accelerating. That means we have to find the distance covered from the first motion, this one. And because of the curve, the sketch is a straight line, we can find the distance easily by finding the area. Okay, so I have to find the area of the green one. Area of the green one will be half times base times height. So it will be half times the base is 8 times the height is 12. So I will have 48 meters for the distance while accelerating. Okay, next is C. C, the total distance. The question give you, oh, not the C, yeah. So, oh wait. So this one is B and this one is C. So sorry. Okay, the next question will be given the total distance. Now the question talking about total distance. Total distance means you have to find all of the area under the graph. Okay, so the total area will be 48 meters. That is the first one. We already calculate that. Plus the rectangle. The rectangle is t times 12, length times width, and then plus the purple one, half times base times height. And the total area is already given, 852. So we can replace the 852 into the total area. 48 plus 60, 108 meters plus 12t, and then move the 108. Wait, let me calculate it. It will be minus 108 equals to 744 equals to 12t, and then you can divide them. So the time will be 62 seconds. Yeah, so the particle will moving with a constant velocity in 62 seconds. Yeah, find the value of t equals to 62 seconds. Okay guys, that is the final part of this chapter. As usual, if you don't understand the explanation, you can ask me via chat. Okay, see you guys, bye.